story where September 5th I got married to Sucharita. October 5th, when we were going for a walk, 1 month into the marriage, I asked Sucharita, where do you think I should improve? In the initial stages, all husbands want to play nice. Where do you think I should improve? And she, being a traditional, conventional wife who had been brought up with all those values, she said, no, I'm lucky to get you. Initially, all women say that. Okay, I'm very lucky to get you. And then I only told her, there is nothing like a human being cannot improve. So you think and tell me where I can improve. If you think hard enough, it's not difficult to improve even God. You have to only think hard enough. And then she found out and said, this is where you have to improve. And I said, target for the month, I will improve here. So when we were going on November 5th for a walk, I again asked her, Sucharita, where do you think I should improve? I think she was anticipating. She was ready. Even before I completed, she said, this is where you have to improve. I told her, thank you. And I loved it. And I worked on it. And I thought, this is friendship. Beautiful. This is how it should be. I should contribute to her growth. She should contribute to my growth. December 5th, we were going for a walk. And I was in a very, very romantic mood. So I forgot about all this, where to improve stuff and all. And it was all about giggly, bubbly stuff. But I knew she was not receiving any of my loving expressions. Her face very clearly showed she was not in a mood for any of this romantic stuff. So I asked her, something is bothering you? She said, I feel you can improve in 3 areas. Okay. I turned red to the nose. My nose became red. And I started barking. I forgot it was 5th. I told her, you can't go on finding fault with me. She said, I'm not finding fault with you. I'm telling you where you can improve. This is just another way of putting it. Where you can improve simply means I'm not good in something. Then she said, today is 5th. Oh, 5th is fault finding and misery. Every 5th you have to find fault. Whose mistake was it? Who gave her the spectacles with a scratch? I wish I had asked her on October 5th, what is one thing beautiful about me? I wish I asked her on November 5th, what is something amazing about me? I wish December 5th on her own, she said, there are 3 more things which are wonderful about you. You gave the spectacles and then you wonder, why is this happening? I went to second HTV. I've already shared a couple of times with you guys about how Adya corrects my English, Ashut corrects my English, Sucharita corrects my English, and I keep talking. Sometimes I feel what makes you so comfortable with me is my ability to strip open my vulnerabilities. I tell you I had failed. I tell you I was not good in academics. I tell you like this. Now all of you go and somewhere when your husband and wife argue with each other, you'll say, even Sucharita thinks Mahatria can improve in 3 areas. No, what you're saying, Mahatria knows everything, will be used against me. But I feel like this when I share, then you feel okay, your 3 fights per week is okay. In other places also it happens there. So I speak about my mistakes, I speak about my faults, I speak about my emotions, I speak about my vulnerabilities. And there is a very humane way by which we teach here. It never comes from a platform of, I know it all, I'm always right, I am perfect, I am beyond, I am not one amongst you guys. Hey! Look down. It isn't like that. There is an element of proximity, there is an element of accessibility, there is transparency, there is vulnerability, and it's worked brilliantly well for 21 years. It's worked brilliantly well. We are just 1 week away from 21 years since it all began. Next Sunday will be 21 years, and it has worked very well. So I went for second HTB, and second HTB a session happened, and there was a feedback from somebody, and I realized it was a very valid feedback. I took the feedback, I internalized it. I said it should make a lot of difference to me. And in the next Infinipath, and coming back from HTB, and HTB you all see Vishwarupan come back. And here I was sitting and sharing with everybody, hey, something like this happened in second HTB, and a letter came and I realized this, and I think that feedback is right, and I'm going to internalize it. So in this HTB, not only they grew out of me, I also grew out of them, which is the truth. Always it happens. One of them who has done that, and it was beginners HTB, second HTB was beginners HTB. Before I reached home, because I take another 1.5 to 2 hours to hug everybody at the end of Infinipath, and I go home, before I reached home, there was an email from one of the first timers saying that an individual consciousness should not judge an universal consciousness. Any feedback that comes from all of us comes from our background. It does not come out of silence. So we all will have feedbacks. But I think you should flow with the flow. Even if you're going to be magnanimous enough to take our feedbacks, and you think that our feedbacks are good enough for you, even if you are magnanimous enough to take our feedbacks, don't come and tell us that you are growing out of our feedbacks. I don't think our ego is capable of handling that. When we hear from you that you grow out of our feedbacks, I don't know whether all of us are matured enough to handle that. Our ego may not handle this. It will hurt our own growth. So if at all you are taking feedbacks from us, take. You secretly grow. Don't come and tell us because of you I am growing. I don't think we are capable of handling this. Anyhow, I read that mail, I didn't go into it, I left it at that. That email itself told me, don't tell us we grow out of our feedback. I just want to tell you that was a very good feedback. Very good feedback. Because once I came back from HTB and shared that I grew out of a feedback of one of the infinityists, I think it provoked the ego of a lot of people. The amount of feedback that has come in the last 3 HTBs, where my English should, word by word. In fact, people are no more listening to Infinipath. They are checking my English, where it has to improve. This word should not be said like this. That word should be, in infinite thought, this should not have been a sentence. Here, this should not be the plural. Here, this is not the pronoun. Some of them send me voice recording, telling how a word should be. Okay, that's one part. Now there are feedbacks about how and where Infinipath should be conducted. Now there are feedbacks about what music should be played before and after Infinipath. Now there are feedbacks about this is the highest. How HDB should be conducted. Okay. Now there are feedbacks. I'm telling you there is not less than 25 feedbacks that has come from at least 10 different people about how HTB should be conducted, what should be done in HTB, what should the signboards in HTB should read, and probably every possible thing that can be opinionated upon, judged upon, commented upon, including that now that HTB is over, I think you should have a haircut and your beard needs trimming, your teeth needs filling. There's a gap between your... You have to go to a dentist and you need filling between. There is a feedback everywhere. And I feel so bad for them. I feel so bad for them. Trust me. The day you have gone into that zone, you are no more watching an Infinipath for your growth. You are no more coming to HTB for your development. That means you are only analyzing the English and not the message. You are not analyzing the content in the message. You're not analyzing the depth of, you're not connecting. If you're not connecting, you're not absorbing the energy. There are a few people where no matter where they reach, they still think they have scope for improvement. After all the records that he has achieved in the recent past, Virat Kohli is going to tell you, there is still scope for my improvement. That's the greatness of that man. Immediately, if one of the under 19 goes and tells him, where you need to improve is T20 lo kuda select amata. Anyhow, this is not a feedback to you. This is something that I understood, and I realized, in that instant I realized why there is 1/3 of an organization resigning from a multinational company, in spite of the fact that everything has been provided. In most of these organizations, thinking we can achieve a flat hierarchy, saying that this is the revolution. Please understand, some of the progresses are not necessarily advancement. Some of the changes are not necessarily progress. In fact, some of these organizations are going to evolve policies and realize it does not work and go back to old ways. Like you going back now to drinking green tea, which was always, herbal tea was there in the system. You went away from it and now you are going back. The latest is green tea. Latest is normally the oldest. You lost it and you are getting it back. That's all. You moved away from it and you will move back to the entire thing. What is this thing called? Yakult. What is that called? That thing you have to drink, prebiotic or something, if you drink. Aduthaan the pazhaya soru. That old rice, if you pour water and keep, the entire night fermentation will take place, and morning if you have, it will clean. That was the old system. Because it's given in a bottle, now you pay through your nose and have the same thing. So, just because there is, the advancement need not be progress. It might be sometimes just an experimentation, and who knows, we'll go back into the whole thing. So just one very important feedback for a lot of you are building organizations, building institutions, heading departments. You are the looked up to professional, head of the families. Please understand, the moment you take away the element of looking up to, the more and more you reduce that gap, the less and less will be your abilities to empower. That gap has to be sustained. Not just because you want to enjoy that status. That gap has to be sustained for the very reason you can do a lot of good to those people. Because you can do a lot of good to those people only when that gap exists, by which you will be able to empower them. If you remove that gap, you will not be able to empower them. And to that extent, you will not be able to do good to them. Just